and welcome to Stingray Tom's Florida and Day 9 of the Florida Adventure Series. Let's see what the object for today is. This is a lanyard from the official skunk ape research headquarters in Ochopee, in the Big Cypress Swamp. The skunk ape headquarters describes itself as where you can get skunk ape memorabilia along with blowguns, knives, and alligator heads. The HQ also features a reptile and bird exhibit of huge gators, constrictors, and a variety of exotic birds. If you've never heard of Ochopee, these days it's little more than a wide spot on the AnnaMarie Trail, though apart from the skunk ape, it's known for having the country's smallest post office. If you're unfamiliar with the skunk ape, think of it as Florida's version of Bigfoot. It's typically described as a large human-like creature. Since occasional sightings seem to be the only evidence, it's unclear as to its size, but witnesses describe it as being 6 to 9 feet tall, long arms, walking upright, and being very shy. To start with, I'll show a clip of a video that was shot in 2000 by Dave Sheely, the owner of the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters. It's not clear who first named the skunk ape, but it appears to have been in the 60s. It's named for its bad odor, often described as being similar to a skunk. Presumably, its odor is noticeable from quite a distance since no one has described getting close to one. It has been most often sighted in the Everglades and Big Cypress Swamp, areas that are about as remote as Florida gets. It's covered in reddish mottled fur, but little more is known about the elusive creature. It's been suggested that the Seminole and Miccosukee cultures include stories of a smelly, strong, and shy creature, though the comments haven't been verified. Dave Sheely is the most visible proponent of the skunk ape's existence and probably the person who is connected with the creature the most. He believes that the ape finds lima beans tasty, so he's used them to attract it. Unfortunately, it's difficult to believe that the swamp ape exists because of a lack of empirical data. For example, the area that is thought to be the ape's range has dozens of motion-activated trail cameras that are there to study other animals, such as the Florida panther. In fact, the panther is an example of what we know about a fairly large, reclusive, and quite rare animal. There's less than 250 of them in the wild, roughly living in the same area as the swamp ape is supposed to inhabit. Because it's critically endangered, it's intensively studied, so there are certainly more people looking for them than are looking for the ape. Obviously, that's part of the argument as to why there's less evidence for the ape, but we see regular evidence of the panther in many other ways. They do appear in trail cameras. They are clearly photographed by average people. We see their scat, and we find their bodies when they die. Sadly, traffic collisions are responsible for most of the recorded panther deaths each year between 2014 and 2021. By the way, I've covered the Florida panther in this video. On the other hand, the skunk ape hasn't shown itself in any of those ways with the exception of some footprints and a few questionable photographs such as these that were ultimately identified to be an escaped orangutan. There's also no examples in the fossil record. Indeed, there's no fossil evidence of large apes at any time in North America's past. Still, none of that means people shouldn't visit the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters in Ochopee, along with the nation's smallest post office. Both are interesting and worth a stop if you're heading along the AnnaMarie Trail or are heading south to Everglades City and Everglades National Park. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Florida's Adventure Series 2023.